Tee Higgins' name has popped up from time to time in this offseason cycle. There was a suggestion maybe the Bengals would trade him. There's only so much cap money to go around. Are they going to be able to keep Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins? It kind of bubbled up and then it went away. This would have been the time to trade him if you wanted significant draft assets in return because he's entering the final year of his contract. And even though he's in a position where he could voice his displeasure about the absence of a contract by not showing up for offseason workouts, he's choosing to be there. Here's Tee Higgins from yesterday regarding his decision to be present for the voluntary offseason program.
I mean, I love the game, man. You know, I wanted to come in and work. I mean, and I live here in Cincinnati. Why not be here and work out, you know what I'm saying, for free? So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just here to get my work in.
For you, is there a message in that, too, of like, hey, I'm here?
Not necessarily. I mean, people can put it that way. At the end of the day, I'm here for me, and, you know, I want to get my body in the best shape to play at the highest level come game time. So.
Some people in their camp say, don't do that. Was there anybody that recommended you, hey, don't go, or you were just like, no, everybody knows I'm coming?
Nah, my agent was even like, man, do what you want to do. At the end of the day, you know, it's whatever you want to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. So, and it was my decision to come back and you know, come work out.
Yeah, that's his call. That's his decision. He wants to be there. He wants to be around. I think he understands that if they're not going to work out a deal now, it's still in his best interest to go out and have a big season. He's taking on a risk, but if they don't give you the contract that allows you to move the injury risk to the team, what's your other choice? Not play? You've got no other option. You've got no other avenue. You've got no other pathway. You've got to go do it. And, yeah, it's good for the team that they have somebody who's willing to give up his leverage. Not necessarily good for the kid, but he just wants to play. He wants to be there. Sometimes no amount of business analysis is going to change the fact that this is just what he wants.
Yeah.
All the other stuff doesn't matter. This is what he wants, and he's getting what he wants.
No, yeah, Mike, I mean, it goes back into the conversation. You bring it up a lot. We hit it on yesterday, I think, a little bit real quickly. Just that this is where guys love for the game, love to want to be great, you know, can maybe hurt them a little bit in the business side because you don't draw that line in the concrete, right? To go, wait, no, I'm not going here until I get paid. But he's a guy that loves the sport, and I think this is the way I would be. I think there's a lot of guys like this in the NFL. I'd be going, wait, I'm going crazy at home. I need to be around my guys. I need to work, whatever else. I can make my point and still want to be paid. And, in a lot of ways in that organization, in that locker room, it's going to put more pressure on the Bengals because a lot of the coaches go, look at this guy. He's selfless. He's our kind of guy. He's a Bengal guy. They're going to be saying that to the people in the front office. The locker room's going to be talking to coaches and people in the front office going, what's taking so long? I mean, you drafted him. You like him. He's your guy. He's awesome. He does everything the right way. Are we not going to reward him? Come on. He's going to put pressure on the Bengals in his own way, I think, by just being there. Now, the big question with that, Mike, is just, what does he get paid? What's the number? You mentioned it. Burrow, Jamar Chase is going to get paid like one of the top receivers in football. We know that. Tee Higgins, where does he fit? And where is that price? And that's probably the thing that the Bengals are trying to figure out with his representation.
Life's a lot easier when you stink every year, isn't it?
Right?
This is one of the byproducts of the Bengals being so bad. They were in position to get Burrow first overall, Chase fifth overall. They had Higgins already.
They got Higgins in the Burrow draft at 33, pick 33.
My goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Right.
Think about that.
I know.
What a draft that is.
Right.
It's not quite 74 Steelers yet, but my goodness, to have those guys, especially if they can keep them together. But that's part of the challenge now. How do you cut up that salary cap pie and have enough money left over to put a team around him? And I know that's very good for the overall competitive interest of the game, but it does tend to keep the players from earning what maybe they deserve.
Yeah.
Unless they want to do a Devontae Adams thing where they go to a team that isn't very good that's willing to pay $30 million a year. So I don't know where Higgins fits.
Well, yeah. What do you think, Mike?
We didn't
spitballing. Do you think he's a top 20 receiver? Right? I mean, where is he? You think roughly? It's a tough one.
I think he's top 20. I think it's hard to properly assess him because Jamar Chase is on his team.
Sure.
But he's got number one. He's a guy. He's not Alvin Harper. Remember Alvin Harper back in the 90s?
Awesome number 2.
He was the number 2 to Michael Irvin.
Right.
And when he went somewhere else, went to Tennessee, right? When he left and he went to another team,
Never heard of him
went
again.
To Tennessee
Really.
College, I think.
Yeah.
But they just, that was it. It was
Right.
gone. And there have been others like that too. There was, I can't even remember who it is because he went somewhere else. Peerless Price. Peerless Price was a great number 2 receiver. Went somewhere else. Nope. Never worked.
Yeah.
Not the number 1 guy. In reverse, I've said this recently when Antonio Brown left the Steelers. Hey, Juju Smith-Schuster, team MVP.
Right.
Great number 2. Make him number 1. Nope. Doesn't have the skills to be the number 1. Higgins has the skills to be a number 1.
Agreed.
He can be the guy
Yeah.
that stretches the field and attracts double coverage. So he could leave and go somewhere else and be number 1. The problem, though, is, Chris, after last year, when they had the Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill spending spree, I don't know how it's going to shake out now. We saw other guys get contracts in the wake of Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
We saw A.J. Brown get his deal, $25 million or so per year in new money from the Eagles. We saw DK Metcalf get his. We got kind of a running back thing going on with the receiver market. There's a lot of good receivers. Where do the best ones fit when we're talking about $30 million now being the high water mark? Until Justin Jefferson gets his deal that pushes him. I believe whenever they pay Justin Jefferson, he's going to be the highest paid receiver in football. But it's got to be that unicorn-type player to stretch the rubber band.
Right.
Tee Higgins doesn't do that.
Yep, that's right.
Jamar Chase could if he plays it out.
Right.
So where does Higgins fall below the top of the top?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And if the Bengals and Tee Higgins agents knew, he'd have a deal.
No, exactly. I mean, you're right. He's not unicorn status, right? I don't think he's Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, right? Those are guys that can do anything on the field. But damn, he like you said, he's still a number 1 in the NFL. And, and really up there. It's not like, if there was, 32 number 1s, you'd go, he's probably 31 or 32. No, it's above that. It is. He's special. Like you said, he can command double team coverage. He's one of those guys that if he's covered, he's still not covered, like we saw in the Super Bowl 2 years ago or the AFC Championship game last year. Oh, you're covered, so what? I'm under pressure. Let me just throw it up. Boom, he jumps up, mosses somebody, gets the ball. He's great that way. I mean, you can look at the Miami game on Thursday night early in the year. They throw him a short pass. He makes somebody miss. He runs up the sidelines for a long touchdown. He's got it all, like you said. He really does. Now, the sweet spot is I sit here and look at receiver salaries, right? Where you go, okay, like DJ Moore is the number 10 receiver in football right now as far as average salary. He's making $20 million a year, right? There's Keenan Allen at $20 million, Chris Godwin at $20 million, Mike Williams at $20 million. Tee Higgins is better than that group right there. Keenan Allen's a little different, but I would take Tee Higgins over Mike Williams or Chris Godwin, right? Not DJ Moore. I'm not going to say I'm going to take him over that. But what I'm trying to say is, Amari Cooper's making $20 million. Brandon Cooks is making $19.8. He's better than Brandon Cooks, in my opinion, right? So that's where you start to go, holy crap, yeah, what kind of paycheck are they going to have to pay him?
Debo's at 23.85. Would you put him in that category?
Probably not. I think that's where I'd draw the line. Right, him and Terry McLaurin at 23 and Terry at 22.7. Right,
Split the difference.
I think
so. Let's do 23.5. How about 23.5? Do I hear 23.6?
I would say for this right now, take it. Sold. I would if I'm Tee Higgins.
How about a swing batter at 23.5? All right.
Hey,
You know what, though? We're looking at this list that Pete has put in the document that we share to help guide us through the potential pitfalls of a 2-hour live show.
Yeah.
15 players making $20 million or more. I think back to earlier this year when I said I was hearing from multiple sources that Odell Beckham Jr. wanted $20 million, and people lost their shit about that.
Yeah.
How could he not want $20 million when you look at this list?
Yeah,
How does he not think he's
know.
among these top 15 players
who
are making $20 million or more per year? So $20 million's a given. The question is where is it between 20 and 30? You got a lot of guys between 20 and 30, and you only have like 2 or 3 clustered near the top and really Hill and Adams are the two. The Devontae DeAndre Hopkins, excuse me. The DeAndre Hopkins deal is a little
Not
fugazi
real.
at this
Yeah,
point.
right.
I put that one aside. Cooper Kupp, that's an aberration. They drank all of Matthew Stafford's 42 that day at the Super Bowl parade, and they gave Stafford and Kupp and Donald all this ridiculous money, and now they're paying for it on the back end, literally. But where do you fall between 30, 28, and 20?
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of pegged it. I think we've done. Bengals. We don't even want any money. Just send us like a fruit basket or something. 23.5 is the new money average for Tee Higgins. That sounds right. We've solved your problems. Now you can go try to pay Joe Burrow.
No, and then that's where that goes. And I was going to go. So let's get to the next piece of this puzzle, right? Because, I mean, we know they got Jamar Chase coming up next year, but Burrow's contract and the number and what he's willing to maybe not take or leave for everybody else, it's going to go a long way to make sure that he can keep, the three amigos together here. And then when I say that, I mean him, him, Chase, and Higgins.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.